you teach people about wealth,
Yep.
right? And you teach people about how to get and generate wealth. And I think that's so powerful because I call this show Wake Up to Wealth because I believe that we've all been taught wrong about money and we've all been put into the matrix. And once you break the cycle of poverty by understanding money, you can get out of the matrix. So, that's how did you transition from special forces in the military to I want to figure this wealth shit out because I mean that's a different transition. You don't hear that a lot, right?
Yeah. Well, my parlay or foray into the corporate world was with insurance and financial services. And so like Series 6, Series 7 type shit. And like I grew up in a tiny Midwestern town. My mom was a school teacher for 38 years. I learned conventional methodology, right? She has a master's degree. My goal was to go to college, get a degree, go work at a company for 40 fucking years, just like everybody else, right? Contribute to these qualified programs where they take your fucking money and you can't control any of it at all. And that never sat well with me. So like I didn't follow the model. I went through a little bit of college, never got a degree, didn't finish, went into the military. I immediately when I went into the corporate world and they're like, you need to invest. I've always been a great saver. I can accumulate and amass a bunch of money. Like that has always been a thing of mine. But like I never really liked the traditional methods and the qualified programs just never made sense to me because I just grew up with like a distrust for authority. And so like giving someone my money for them to invest for 45 years with the promise that they're going to give it back to me when I'm 65 just didn't fucking compute to me.
Right.
So that said, I took my own money, didn't contribute to my 401k. When I was 26 years old, I bought a 7-unit apartment complex. And that's where I kind of cut my teeth in real estate. I hopped in there very early on. And then I started buying stuff from that point on. But I do teach people about wealth because the biggest thing that I unlocked that I didn't unlock for another 10 years was overfunded whole life insurance. Like that's my high early cash value life insurance policies are really what I consider the 401k for entrepreneurs. And if we buried a shitload of money in those from the time that we were 15 to 30, there would be no workforce. That's why you don't learn about these things. And that's why I feel like they don't teach certain things. Plus, there's a lot of scam artists out there, and they rip people off, and they set up the policies incorrectly, so they get a bad rap. And there's guys like Dave Ramsey shitting on them all the time.
Right.
And if you find them where they can be written through the right companies the right way, they're the most powerful fucking tool for wealth building you can ever imagine.
Essentially family banking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it provides you with what Kent Clothier talks about all the time, which is uninterrupted compound interest for fucking ever at 6.5%. And you can't beat it. And what they tell you is they blow a bunch of bullshit up your ass about 401ks returning 10%, 11%, whatever. But they don't tell you all the fees and the taxes and everything associated with that. So at the end of the day, you don't touch your money for 45 years and you're getting about an aggregated rate of return of 6.5% too. So like if you just get in these correct policies, first of all, you've got a death benefit set up for your family. You're buying your net worth for your estate, essentially.
Yep.
And then you also have access to the fucking cash anytime you want. And so that allows you to accelerate the cyclical rate of money. And so, like, that's one of the biggest concepts that I teach people because it's so basic. Anyone can do it. You don't need a ton of money. You can get started with $1,000. You don't need fucking 6 figures of savings to get started. And like that is the powerful tool that you can use to buy your freedom over a few year period. Now, if real estate's your thing, which it's ours, and that's the next asset that you're putting it into, great. You can cycle it again into a different asset that will make more money. But if you're super conservative and your risk tolerance is not there, you can just chug along at 6.5% and keep feeding it. So you really have a lot of choices with it, and it can really change the trajectory of a family, and that's important to me.